Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you are catching this live, I'm so excited that you're here, that you're joining me. That you're watching the replay wherever you are. I wanted to come and share something with you guys. I was actually talking to one of my private groups about it and was like, you know what? I think that more people need to be made aware of it. And it relates to goal setting, especially with 2021 being here, coming up, approaching us super quickly. I'm like, not enough people know of this information. So I was sharing it with some clients, and then I was like, I need to share it with some other people. You guys need to know this. So when I was going through my NLP training, there was a concept that I learned about called when you're working on goals, you're either toward motivated or away motivated with your goals. And simply put, you're either moving towards your goal for a positive reason or away from it because you're running away from something, so to speak. And so when we set goals, 9 times out of 10, we're in this position of being away motivated. We're running or pushing away from something. And therefore, that's why we don't have lasting success. Therefore, that's why we're struggling, because we're trying to run away from something instead of running towards something. And when you're trying to run away from something, you don't have that drive, that motivation, that push, that momentum you need to show up consistently after your goals. And so one of the things that the first thing that comes to my mind is let's say, for example, you're I want to lose weight. And that's a common goal, especially new year, new me. Everyone's talking about it. They want to lose weight. But when you ask a person or when you check in with yourself and you're like, well, why do I want to lose weight? And it may be something like, I'm tired of being fat, or I don't like looking at my body, or I feel disgusting in my body. So that's away motivated. On the flip side, if someone were to say, I want to lose weight because I want to be able to run with my children. I want to be able to exercise without being out of breath. I want to actually get healthy. That's toward motivated. It's giving you something to look toward. The problem is most of us are away motivated. And when we're away motivated, we're running away from something that we should probably be addressing or getting to the root of within ourselves. Research says, I think it's January 19th is titled National Quitters Day. And it's titled National Quitters Day because by January 19th, all the goals, the New Year's resolutions that everyone set on January 1st, they're no longer working towards it. They're no longer taking action towards, because they're like, whatever. They don't have that momentum they need to keep showing up towards that goal. They're not being consistent because, again, they're running away from something that probably should be addressed. But on the flip side, the people that are very toward motivated, the people that are very excited and looking towards something, they have something to look towards. And so they keep that momentum going, right? When you tell yourself oh my gosh, I'm so pumped up, I'm so inspired, I can't wait to run through the park with my kids and not be exhausted. That's something to look towards. I'll give you guys a very tangible example. I remember my aunt, she was going through health school coaching and became a health coach. And she was like, you should really give up dairy. Dairy's really bad for you. And dairy, everything you read is not really good, causes mucus, all that great stuff, right? But I love me some cheese. You can give me a block of cheese and I probably would eat it. Macaroni and cheese, absolutely one of my favorite foods in the world, right? So I didn't feel there was nothing I was looking toward with that, right? But when I, had my youngest daughter, she started to develop an intolerance towards it. And she would literally develop a physical reaction, rashes all over her skin. She would itch, she would cry, she would, scratch her skin till she would bleed. It was obscene. And so then I had to really check in with myself, and I created a goal to begin to cook with more healthy ingredients that didn't really include dairy. Now, don't get me wrong, I still eat dairy when I can. And sometimes if it's not necessarily a meal, I'm feeding her in moderation. But I became more intentional about cooking without dairy. Now, at that point, I was toward motivated because I wanted my daughter to be healthy. I wanted her to feel good. I wanted her to feel upbeat. I wanted her to love the skin she was in, right? So I felt toward motivated towards it. Whereas before, when I tried to get rid of it, it was away motivated. I wanted to prove to my aunt that I could do it. I wanted to prove to my aunt that it wasn't that hard. It was this thing. But how many times do we do that, right? I work with clients all the time where I'm on the phone with them and I'm like, oh, what's the reason that you want to write a book? Oh, I want to show my high school teacher who said I wasn't smart enough that I could write a book. That's away motivated. You have to address what you're running away from before you can be successful at going towards it. right? And then sometimes I work with people that are like, I want to write a book because I know I can change people's lives. I know that people in the world need to hear my story or my voice. Those are the people that show up day after day after day and show up and actually publish and launch their book and are very successful because they're meant to get their book in the hands of the people that need it most. We have to stop running away from things in order to make room to run towards what it is that we're called to do. So what I'm challenging you to do is I'm challenging you to think of your big picture goal. What is that big thing that you feel like so inspired to accomplish, whether that's for New Year's, whether that's right here, right now. We don't have to wait till New Year's to start going after your goals, right? So what is that big thing that you want to accomplish, that big thing that you're inspired and excited about that lights your soul on fire? And then I want you to check in with yourself and I want you to ask yourself, would you say that the goal is mostly toward motivated, or would you say it's mostly away motivated? There can be a little balance, right? You can say that I'm really inspired to start my own business because I want to change people's lives. And I also I don't want to miss time out of my children's lives, right? That can be it. So there's a little bit of a way motivated, but it seems like more of it is very toward motivated, which is fine. There can still be a little bit of a balance as long as you're more toward motivated. But check in with yourself. Like, are you more toward motivated or are you moving away? Good morning. Good morning. Are you more toward motivated or are you moving away from your goal? And if you're moving away from your goal, if you're away motivated, check in with yourself about why you're away motivated and how you can address that so that you can show up successfully to move towards your goal. And if you're toward motivated, hold tight to that, lock that in, determine how you can visualize that and keep that in the forefront of your mind. So that's constantly something that's giving you that drive, that motivation, that momentum to keep showing up, to keep going after your goal, to feel confident about it, to know that that's what you're called to do. Good morning. Good morning. And so I want you to really check in with yourself because the problem is we get so frustrated when we're stuck and stagnant and when we're living the same year over and over and over again, calling that life. But it's because you're not being intentional about the way in which you're approaching your goal and the way in which you're moving in the direction and moving toward your goal. So I just wanted to share that. I also wanted to let you guys know that I will be having a live goal setting intention training. Thank you guys so much. The beginning of November, and I would love to have you there. I will be teaching a lot of strategies that help really simplify and, dare I say, make fun the goal setting process, because I think a lot of times we overcomplicate it, right? We put all this pressure on ourselves to do all of these things when it doesn't need to be that way. Goal setting should actually be fun. It should be invigorating. It should be exciting, and it should be accomplishable. If that's a word, you should be able to accomplish it. We should not constantly be setting goals year after year, day after day, week after week, month after month with little to no success. That's frustrating. That's exhausting. And that's the quickest recipe to really throw in the towel, right? To give up and to say, forget it with your goals. But if you want a foolproof formula, you want a recipe that actually has an outcome that works, that actually tastes good, right? That actually shows out in your life to let you know that you can accomplish what it is that you set out to accomplish, then you need to join this goal setting intention session, because when I say it's literally going to change the way that you think about goals, and more importantly, it's going to change the way that you show up in your life. You're going to be able to show up in your life as that next level version of yourself that you know you're called to be. This will change your life. I cannot stress this enough. I do this every year. I'll be honest, I don't do it live. So the cool thing about doing it live is that not only are you getting the formula, you're getting access to me to get some of your most pressing questions answered, which is amazing. So if you are interested in this session, definitely send me a DM. Look below, and I'll put it in the comments. So check out the comments, and then you can join me. It's going to be amazing, amazing, amazing. And I just really am looking forward to seeing you guys there. Thank you so much for the hearts. Thank you so much for the hearts. It's going to be an amazing day. I'm speaking it. I'm believing God for it and speaking it into existence. All right, guys. So let's make it an amazing day. I look forward to connecting with you guys and really helping you to bring your big vision into fruition. You're most welcome. You're most welcome. Have an awesome day. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for all my replay viewers. And I will check in and chat with you all later. Bye, guys.